Welcome to a screencast on the unit circle in radian measure. In the previous video, we looked at some central angles whose vertex was at the origin and whose initial side was on the positive x-axis. We mentioned that for any central angle, let's say theta, that the central angle creates an arc along a portion of the circle's circumference. In calculus, we're going to use a new measure of angle called a radian. For an angle whose vertex is at 0, 0 in the unit circle, we say that the angle's measure is 1 radian, provided that the angle intercepts an arc of the circle that is also 1 unit in length. In other words, if the radius of the circle equals 1, then this arc along the circle is also 1 unit in length. When that happens, we have what we call 1 radian. On the unit circle, we want to recognize that the arc length always equals the radian measure. So the length of this arc along the outside of the circle equals the angle that we used to create the arc. So now that we have 2 units for measuring angles, namely degrees and radians, we want a method for converting between the 2 units of measure. So it will be helpful to recognize a couple things about the unit circle to help us do this. First, we know that 1 full rotation around the unit circle gives us the circumference. So 1 rotation, the circumference equals 2 pi. And since the circumference is 2 pi, the angle measure all the way around the unit circle in radians is also going to be 2 pi. And we know that 1 full rotation is also equal to 360 degrees. So that means that 2 pi radians equals 360 degrees. These are 2 different ways to measure an angle, but both represent a full rotation. So now let's divide both sides by 2, and we'll see that 1 pi radian equals 180 degrees. And if we would like to convert 1 radian into degrees, then we can divide both sides by pi, and we would see that 1 radian is equal to 180 degrees divided by pi. We can also think about converting 1 degree into radians. So if we look again at this relationship that a pi radian equals 180 degrees, we can divide both sides by 180, and we see that 1 degree would equal pi over 180 radians. In the next video, we're going to use this important idea to locate the arc length for various points along the circumference of the unit circle.